It's very exciting to actually be able to be the person giving the BBC for the first full day, real day of our Exploring Monastic Life program. And I mean, this one is unusual in some ways. I don't think we've ever had as many guest monastics, new monastics in the program before. And already everyone is saying just how amazing it feels to have, again, a community full of so many monks and nuns here. It's really lovely to have the two of you monks joining our Bhikshu, Venerable Losang. Um, and so I want to pick up on the seeds that Venerable Damcho started with her motivation in the meditation hall this morning, where she talked about what a rare and amazing thing this is, that the kind of virtue that ripens in even an aspiration to explore monastic life is like Shantideva's flash of lightning in the sky. What in the world has come together for us to be able to be together here today for this luxurious 2.5, almost 3 weeks? Because as I was thinking about this group, I think among everyone here, there are probably only 2 of us that were actually born in Buddhist countries. Right? Is that true? Yeah, maybe. Yet, there will be 32 people here before we're all done. So where does that come from? Somehow in the course of our lifetime, we have all met Buddhist teachings. Sometime in the course of our lifetime, we have met a Buddhist monastic. And the thought came somewhere, sometime, maybe I could do that. Nobody, when they were small, thought, I'm going to grow up and be a Buddhist monastic. We thought we might be doctors, we wanted to be famous writers, we wanted to be famous actors, we wanted to be nurses, we wanted to be physicists, we wanted to be different things. But I'll bet you nobody here thought they were going to grow up to be a Buddhist monastic. A few might have flirted with being a Catholic nun, I will say. Yeah, it was a light flirtation. Yeah. But you have to know that something exists in order to aspire to attain it, in order to aspire to become it. So you remember when we talked the story about the Buddha's life, how he met on his quest when he escaped from the palace. He met the 4 messengers, sometimes they're called the 4 heavenly messengers, that propelled him to pursue his full awakening. So he met the messengers of aging, sickness, and death in the form of an old person, a very ill person, and a corpse. But that 4th messenger that the Buddha met was a simple mendicant, that in his deep thinking about these things that he'd seen before him, the sickness, aging, and death, gosh, I'm not going to be able to make it without crying in this BBC, because it's so meaningful to me that he went out, saw this simple mendicant with a calm and radiant, peaceful countenance, and he asked his charioteer, who is that? What is that? And he was told, this is a person who is a spiritual seeker, a sage who has left behind the distractions of family and possessions to seek the meaning of life and the solutions to its problems. One person, he saw it, I can aspire to that. And in the story, that Buddha's aspiration led him to what? To complete and full awakening. So for 2,600 years, the promise that we have the capacity to awaken ourselves has been able to continue through the practice of one Buddhist monastic after another, after another, after another. There were lay practitioners too. I will not diminish that in any way. But it is said very clearly in the Vinaya that the Buddha established the Sangha and established our precepts. The most important reason was for the Dharma to last forever. And it is in the body of the monastic Sangha that comes about. So what causes and conditions brought each person here? It's really worth thinking about. Who was the messenger? What was it that we saw that sparked that inspiration? Who are the beings in this life who might have guided us slowly in this direction, one way or another, both through adversity or through inspiration and challenge? And think about the kindness of those beings in bringing us here to this moment. You know, we can think about the kindness of how even the Abbey came to be, how it was started and how it's been sustained, and that there are today, I don't know how many thousand people you could actually say that are out there supporting with prayers and energy and financial support, that we're here today. You know, we can think about how the Dharma came to the West. I was thinking of Geshe Sopa, who was not the very first, but His Holiness sent Geshe Sopa here with 3 little tukos before 2 years after they were in exile. I mean, he was hardly established anywhere. He said, go to America, learn English, and from what he did at the University of Wisconsin alone, the students, the scholars, the translations, we have texts today that did not exist when Geshe Sopa came to this country, and yet we can study them now. Or the story of Venerable Chukyi's Geshe, who was invited to Quebec, did not know the language, and now for 20 years just came as the sole monastic there to establish a community that's growing, growing, growing. Or, you know, Venerable Chödrön, Venerable Sangye Kadro, looking for something a long time ago, found it, connected, and have maintained their precepts and been able to continue as monastics for all of these years. Without them, we don't exist in this form, in these robes, or with the possibility of exploring monastic life. So it's something to truly, truly celebrate. The gratitude that can arise as we think about this program, I think helps us work on our motivation for keeping our ordination, or for sustaining our ordination, or for exploring our ordination. Venerable Master Wu Yin, when she was here teaching Vinaya course last year, she said the term Sangha means harmonious assembly. And by that word harmonious, we know how to relate. A lot of mechanisms have to be in place for harmony to occur. And the center of those, she said, is the human being. There's the human element. But so it means we have to constantly adjust to each other, that harmony is not a given. So as we live together over the next 2.5 weeks, harmony will not be a given. We will be asked to do things that we may or may not want to do. We will come up against people that we may or may not want to be coming up against. And yet, what she continued to say, when we live together, the thing that unites us is the Dharma. We draw support and resources from the Vinaya or precepts and use it as a force to relate to each other. And harmony will manifest as a result. So, as we are here living in harmony together, exploring this program of monastic life, exploring this aspiration, we can think about not just who we rely on, but who will see us. Who in the future may see this robe and think, oh, I could grow up like that. Who in a future life, if it turns out that this is not the choice that's right for you in this life, the seed is still there. How many people have already come to us and said, oh, now that I know that Abbey is here, I'm really aspiring to be a monastic in my next life. That's also okay. The seed is there and the seed is growing. So not only are we benefiting from the messenger that appeared for us, but as we move forward with this, even in the exploration, we are also messengers for others. And as we are that messenger, as we explore this life, this monastic life together, it says, did I bring the book in here? I didn't. It says in the Pratimoksha Sutra that we recite every 2 weeks, there's a line that says, as long as these precepts, I'm going to paraphrase it, but as long as these precepts are recited, the Dharma will last forever. And when these precepts are no longer recited, it is like the sun setting in the west. That will be the end of it. So to be even with an inkling in your heart, maybe I'll be a monastic sometime. Maybe next life, maybe the next life. But somehow I want to carry the Buddha's teachings because I have confidence in my own capacity to awaken. I have confidence in the Buddha's teachings that says, by my awakening, I can help bring all other beings to that awakening. That's what we're here to do, to explore and grow that seed inside of ourselves for the next 2.5 weeks. So how fortunate we are to be able to do this together, and may we enjoy the program. Thank you so much.